So one thing that trucking helped me realize is that, well, one thing that I used to say all the time was nature's number one law is self-preservation, right? But I look at it and I'm like, it kind of seems like everybody is responding to their own incentive. Now, when I say they're responding to their own incentive, I mean like, so if you've ever worked in a warehouse before, right? And you've either been a forklift driver or you've stacked the pallets or you've unloaded or loaded the trailers with the forklift. Because usually if you're unloading them and putting them on a conveyor belt, more than likely the driver probably wasn't connected to that trailer. It was probably a dropping hook or the yard jockey brought that trailer to it. But if you're a driver and you're sitting, you're like, man, what's taking them so long? Like, I'm trying to make the next load, like my clock running out. You know what I'm saying? But if you've ever been a loader, imagine when you're in the warehouse and your supervisor is micromanaging you. And now you don't want to move as fast because you like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? So you go bullshit in the bathroom for 10 to 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Or the person who's picking the pallet, making the pallet, if the forklift driver isn't a reach truck and he has to wait for the pallet to get set up, imagine if it's someone new and they're taking all day. So it just kind of showed me how it's like a chain of command, like a chain of command. So like it's a system that works that people don't really see, because it's the driver may be annoyed because he's trying to make time and stuff like that. The forklift driver is annoyed because he micromanages. He's just trying to survive his shift. But the supervisor is trying to make sure production is getting hit. So it's not necessarily everybody's really just thinking about the incentive and what they have to do for their job. So it's just crazy when you think of things like that, and it gives you like a broader perspective of like, it's always like an underlying thing. And another thing that helped me, arm getting tired. Man, hold on. Oh man, we just gonna switch it back. Another thing that helped me realize I need to get a gimbal or something stabilized. Another thing is kind of like there's always like an underlying thing that's going on, but it's like everybody is so wrapped in on what they're doing and what they have to accomplish that nobody like comes grounded. I don't want to say nobody, but for the most part, people aren't grounded in the sense like the situation is bigger than me. We're mostly, man, I gotta get this done. You know what I'm saying? So even if like you don't even have to be in logistics, it could be nurses or farmers, or like you go in, you want to be every situation is different. It's different circumstances and stuff like that. But you could want to go in the hospital. You could be in dire pain. But it may be a busy day, and they may have other workers that are attending to people that's dealing with the same issue you're dealing with. And they necessarily can't just drop everything and come to you. But that's what we would like for to happen, because this is the hospital. But the nurses is running like chickens with their heads cut off because they got so many things that they need to do. Not only do they need to check this person, they need to, document this person, check them in, and then run back to the other patient that's been waiting on them, and then run to the other patient's family and give them the rundown of what's going to happen, or take this person's blood work, or do this and that. And you just in the waiting room like, yo, you see what I'm saying? Or even from the farmers, like healthy food could be like, fruits and stuff is usually like expensive, or it might be a shortage or something. But we're not even looking at the fact that the tariffs is increasing the imports and the exports. So now they got to price up their food, or price up the vegetation that they're growing, or in a sense, they have to they're not able to grow some of the vegetation that they're used to growing, or that they usually grow because of what's going on in the world. So it's just thinking that certain things, just driving the truck just helped me. It just paints a bigger picture of everything that's going on, because I basically get to travel for free. So it's just looking, and it's like, man, like, the world is so much bigger than me. Like, but I definitely be in this truck right here. I definitely be in this jump. And get out the way, bro. I'm trying to make this load. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? I also have to work on grounding myself as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect at all. I don't even want to be. But it's just something to think about. And you're just like, man, like, I'm sitting here the whole time. The person that's the dependent variable of my situation has something they dealing with, but that's not necessarily my problem, but it is my problem. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like sometimes we just have to be patient with one another, man, and it's a whole lot easier said than done. But just being in this truck, getting a different worldview. Forgot my vest, man. I forgot my vest. Definitely wasn't trying to, hey, you need your vest, and HR calling me and all that. You already know how that can go. But hey, money miles of motivation from the road, man.